Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be working on our Ford Ranger again today. We still got it masked off from the paint from yesterday. I'm going to leave that dry just a little bit more. But today we're working on the rear leaf spring hangers and brackets. If you didn't tune in before, we're doing these. This is all pour 15. We got our spare tire. Hoist, words are hard again today, on. All it is two 10mm bolts. I just grabbed the Ugg and Dug over there and zip, 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 zip back on. We're going to leave our spare tire off for now. It's sitting right there. But we're going to leave it off because we're going to use our heat wrench here to cut all of this off. So what we got is our brackets. You can see I hit the one with just a hammer to see what happened, and it just started bending. You see all the rust flaking off, in case you didn't tune in earlier. And this one is actually, the bracket in between is actually rusted through. There's about to be bad things happening. So we got our new hanger bracket, which is that guy right there. It comes with new bolts. If you'll notice, you got 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and then up front, rivet, rivet. Same way on that side. I don't know why they did it that way. So we're gonna use our torch here, torch them off because we don't need to save them bolts and it's not worth it. And then we got our new hanger bracket, which is this rusty guy right here. Now you'll see we got 1 and 2. We'll try and zip them out, but the rubber bushings in them and the rust lock them together. So we might, again, have to use our heat wrench, start a small controlled fire to break them loose in there. And we'll see if we can get them out. But we don't need to save anything. Even the rubber grommet inside that leaf spring is this guy right here. So we need to save nothing except the leaf itself. We don't even need to save them bolts because they're right there. We don't need to save them bolts because they're right there. So torch everything off. If you don't have a torch, you can use a plasma cutter. If you don't have a plasma cutter, an angle grinder works too. It's whatever is available to you. Don't let it overwhelm you. It's just whatever you have on hand. It doesn't have to be the fanciest thing. Again, I have the fanciest thing and I'm not using it. So I'm gonna do this real quick. No, that's enough talking. And I'll get back to you because my battery's about to die and I'm low on my memory card. So I'll bring you back after I charge it. So we'll see you after that. Okay, we're back. We got a little charge. I figured I'd show you. I ended up zipping those bolts off real quick because if you look behind me, if you can see that is those 2 bolts. That's your bumper bracket bolt. So this actually won't come out without taking that bolt off, so we're gonna leave them too. But here's our ones we torched off. Here's the leaf spring. We come over here. There's our bracket we took off. There's no bother taking that bolt out. You don't need it anyway. But here's how bad that thing was. There's a rust hole through there. And as soon as I got trying to turn this bolt out of here, just see if it'd come out, and it did. After a little heat treatment, that side actually just rusted off. So it was that close to coming off. So there should have been another, there, you can see there, that should have been over here, but it wasn't. All right, now we come back to our bushings that was in here. Now we knew it was sagging a little bit. Here's our bushing. It got heated a little bit, but not bad. But you see how oval shaped that is? That's because this was that guy inside of there. I didn't do anything to that. It actually wore through that. That side's fine, but that side matches that guy right there. Looks pretty good there. It bounced back, but that's what it looked like inside of there. So that would have been sitting in there. So now we can put our new one in and put this all back together, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So do that and you're done. I think the same side's probably the other way. Yeah. We come over here. These are all rivets. There, and there. But if it would have had a bolt, again, that bolt would have been in the way for your bumper bracket. So we can torch all this side off, no big deal. And this side was actually the better side, but if you're doing one, you might as well do the other because you can see it's coming apart. That's your undercoat, but again, we hit this side with a hammer too and it did that. So the metal's thin, do both sides while you're at it. All right, here we go, finished product. We got all these on, and you can see right here I got a washer on there. Now these two bolts are supposed to be coming out like they do on the other side because we didn't take them out. But these sides are all rivets. Now I couldn't get the bolt in past this bumper bracket slash, I think it's just bumper bracket. But it's the same problem that we had over there where we couldn't get that one out. So I went and put these from the inside. This bolt was just a hair too long, it was hitting it. So this spacer of a washer is actually preventing that bolt from hitting that other bolt there. But then we put these two the right way out. Got these out. This guy out. Didn't have to heat it at all. This side come right out. It was in really good shape still, but while we're here, you might as well do both sides. So I think he'll be happy with it. Yeah, that's about it for this. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll end that one there. And then our next step on this is to buff up our cab corner. Now you can see better with the tape off. You can see our scuff marks right here. And our clear ends about right there. Now you can see it's pretty good here and it thins out. Gets pretty thin, and then we get to our scuff mark. So we'll take a buffer and buff that all down. Same thing across there, same thing across the front. And then we'll call this good. And we'll leave it all masked off until we do that. And then once we get this done, we can put our door back on. We can get this all done. I'll leave the front end masked up because I'm gonna wait another day to buff this up. I don't think it's gonna take a whole lot. I think I don't even need to use 1,000 on it, just 2,000 on a couple spots. But we'll do the whole hood anyway. It's black, it shows everything. It is an 01, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be really happy with it. We can back this up under the box, set it on the ground, and I think that's all we're doing to this. Take it back on there and 415 the bottom side of the frame rails. I'm not gonna show that though. But same thing we did to the top, just the underside of the rails. Under here, I just figured it'd be easier when it was in the air instead of it dripping all over me like it did on the exhaust and whatever, but I'll give it to this stuff because I heated these things up here and you can see around it, but that stuff held. It didn't burn, it didn't melt, it didn't do anything. So I'm happy with this stuff so far. I mean, it held up to that heat. I mean, there was a torch on there for a while and that rubber was burning out of there, and I torched these guys off right here. You can see the heat transfer, but you can see that stuff is still there. Catch on fire and didn't burn it clear out, so I'm happy with it. I hope it holds up, but we'll do a video on that in probably 6 months, a year, and we'll see how it held up, see what flakes off, see what stays. We're gonna stop there, so we'll see on the next one where or I suppose in a little bit, or next video. I don't know where I'm even at anymore on this. But yeah, we'll do all that. I'm not gonna show putting the door back on. I'm not gonna show putting the box on. We'll just have it all together and done. All right, one more quick thing is I forgot to mention that I took this back seat out. It's laying right there. And I was gonna get to the back side of where I sectioned the cab corner and put some undercoat or some seam sealer behind there into this hole. And I don't know how well the camera's gonna show us. I get flash it down. There's a piece of plastic and foam. Oh. There. There's a piece of plastic with foam around it, but I can't get to the back side of where I sectioned it across here. But what I can do, that's about where I sectioned it. You can see my spot welds from the back side. Good penetration. Right up across there. So I'm gonna take and scuff all that burnt paint off of there from the weld up around there. I'm gonna take some seam sealer. I got some brushable seam sealer that can go up under there. So for all the haters who thought I forgot about it, I didn't. I don't like doing cab corners because they rust out again. It's just the way they are. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do to protect them. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 20 years. It's gonna happen again. And you can just do everything you can to prevent it from happening again. I mean, was it feasible to do a cab corner on this truck? No, but it's a very nice truck. It just needed some upkeep before it got any worse. If I were him, I would have done the same thing right now. It's not gonna prevent it, it's gonna slow it down. That's all you can do with rust. But I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing to this. If it was just that cab corner in the hood, yeah. Did we know about the suspension before it came in? No. Did we know how rusty the frame is before it came in? No. So, I'd have done the same thing. And then, again, for the haters, I buffed all this up too. And you can't see a line anywhere. Here, or in here. So, I got that done. Like I said, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to do the hood. For all the haters who said gonna say I forgot to do that or didn't show the buffing because I wasn't gonna do it. No, I did. But we did what we can, so I figured I'd throw that in there just for you guys. So we'll see you later.